Hello everybody and welcome to another Getting Stuff Painted video, my bi-weekly give or take, depending on circumstance, update on some things I've been getting painted for the channel, and also hopefully encouraging you to maybe tackle your pile of unpainted miniatures as something to do during the lockdown. If Henry Cavill, Superman slash Girl himself, can stop being a 40k lore nerd and switch to being a 40k painting nerd, he's painting custodies unfortunately, but still, then anybody can find joy in painting miniatures. Actually, a friend of mine has also just started painting D&D miniatures just as something to do, so it's a perfect opportunity to get into that. It doesn't matter what your skill level is, it's a very relaxing pastime and very fitting for if you can't leave the house, which is what most of us are in that position. So anyway, we've got, how many have we got here? 8 miniatures, one obviously larger than another, which you already have hopefully seen in a battle report. This is also the series where I try desperately not to get in the way of the light so you can actually see things properly. But let's start with one new thing and one updated thing from Marvel Crisis Protocol. I do this occasionally where I look back at a miniature I did and I'm unhappy with it, so I try and do something to it to make it better. And in this case, Black Panther, I did a video on it. If you want to get it come on, don't let me use my other hand, that's the one that catches the light. If you want to get him table ready, Black Templar contrast, grey for the base, boom, done, 5 minutes, not including drying time. But I wanted him to look a bit more interesting, so I dry brushed a brighter purple over him, so the purple is much more prevalent, and then also dry brushed it over the base to make it look like the kinetic burst is like in the process of happening. Also made his eyes stand out a bit better as well, just so that it's not just a plain face. At my skill level, that's about all I could do with it, because it is just, it's a black suit at the end of the day, with very little detail to pick out besides the necklace and the belt. So I think it has made a difference. I think the best example of going back to a miniature I painted a while ago, not redoing it, just adding to what I had. If you look on my Twitter back in, how long ago was it? I think it was this year. The Solomon Grundy for the Batman miniature game, was never happy with my paint job I did on that. Just using what was there, I just added to it, and I feel like, and I did a comparison like before and after. I feel like going back to a miniature, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're feeling unhappy with how it turned out, and it can make the difference. So this lady, who turned out much better than I was expecting, is Okoye from Black Panther, the Wakandan affiliation. I did an unboxing of her and Shuri. Haven't tackled Shuri yet, her assembly was hard enough, let alone the paint job it's going to get. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with how she turned out. I did the art on the card, or rather I painted her like the art on the card, as opposed to the box. It's like, who was it recently? There was someone else who was painting, Winter Soldier is painted differently, like in the official art, compared to the painted official miniature, for whatever reason. This, I believe, is truer to how she is in the movie, whereas maybe the miniature looks more like how she does in the comics, I don't know. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with how she turned out, even the little like red lines, war paint and or tattoos on her head. Actually, in the close-up I did on Twitter, because I did show this one off on Twitter because I was happy with it, it looks like I've actually painted one of her eyes perfectly, that you can kind of catch. That was purely by accident, I assure you. I wish I had that kind of micro-level talent. Yeah, Okoye, she'll hopefully be seeing the tabletop soon enough. Once Shuri is finished, I can run Wakanda affiliation. So very quickly, we can just go over this. This is yet another Assaultron. The original box of robots for Wasteland Warfare is 2 Protectrons, 3 Assaultrons, so this is the odd one out that didn't make it into the battle report. Just did black because it's simple, like Black Panther. Black Templar, dry brush of silver, a little bit of red to pick out the eyes, Basilicanum grey and snakebite leather on the base, with a little bit of grass there as well. Seen and done that last time, so no need to spend too much time on that. I'm not sure what's next on the Fallout Wasteland Warfare track, but now, all 4 of these are the 4 acolytes that were released for the Batman miniature game as part of the League of Assassins. So it released alongside Ra's al Ghul. Ra's will be the next big thing I tackle for that. Well, maybe not. Maybe Batbane. We'll see. So these are the 4 acolytes, not occultists. Well, they are kind of an occult. I really like these sculpts, however, trying to match the official colours, I wouldn't know where to start, honestly. So I went with a theme of, they're dressed like normal ninjas beneath, like the black Toby, are they called? Toby? What is that gear called? I'm blanking on the name. I've shamed my weeb heritage. And then to show that they're kind of like the upper echelons I've done the robes just in Militarum green contrast. That's kind of like, that shows they're a higher tier than the bog standard ninjas who just have the black garb on, and I think it was, yeah, wormwood on the bindings, and then just lead belcher on the base. Basilicanum, grey on the base, and the pillar that he's jumping off of. I think he was meant to be a little bit higher up, but I went for a more secure mould rather than like dangling, because any slight knock could bend him. So that's one. Then we have our Knife Man. I don't think they even have names, they're just like Acolyte 1, 2, 3, 4. Knife Man, Joe Daggers. I think he was the first one I painted of them. Kind of like a test of the theme. I don't mind how they came out. I wish I could have got closer to the official art because I like the colour matching. I don't think any contrast paint would get even close. Not even a case of me just not having access to the colours. I don't think the contrast colours exist. It could have got the weird shades they used, which is a shame, but that's okay. Apologies, I have hay fever and allergies. Could definitely be worse, so let's not complain. Then we've got the man with the eagle. You can send his eagle out to scout and give him a better chance to hit, I think. It's been so long since I played Batman miniature game, I'm forgetting the rules of the models I have. This is actually the same eagle that was used for the Beast Boy morphing like form from the Teen Titans box. They've repurposed it, although his ape form was repurposed from one of Gorilla Grodd's goons, so they get a lot of work out of those moulds. They use the same horse mould for everybody riding a horse, for instance. Still waiting on the other half of my Night models, well, not even the other half, 3/4 of my Birds of Prey wave order. I contacted Night Models and said, hey, you sent me a big box, but it had one blister pack in it and no receipt. Where's my order? They replied saying, well, you know, because of the coronavirus, everything's delayed. And that wasn't really what I asked. That is not my grievance. I know everything is delayed. I was asking why I got one big box with one thing in it. So, you know, I'm going to give it a little while and then chase this up. This miniature also should have been higher up the pillar to make it look like he's shooting down from on high, but again, I wanted his leg to be secure rather than dangling, so I modelled him a little bit further down. But you know, he's just firing his arrow. I think that turned out okay. In general, I think the level of painting on the Acolytes is fine. The thing that annoys me is I couldn't get anywhere close to the official colours, which is what I wanted because I really like the official colours on them. So last but definitely not least, the Hulkbuster MK44, which you'll have seen in the second Marvel vs DC Universe miniature game. Not on the base he came with, because there was no way for him to fit on the base he came with. His legs are maybe a little bit more spread than he should be, but I put them where the mould lines told me to put them, but the mould lines could have been off. So what that probably means is he's more squat than he should be, and that's why he didn't fit on the base. So what I actually did is I pulled this base off of the Chris Nolan Batman Batpod bike for the Batman miniature game, the Dark Knight Rises starter box, and just covered it with stones and grass and stuff to hide the fact. It's the same, like, circumference, is that the word, width of the base he should have, more or less, if you go by his feet span anyway. Definitely not as thick, because it's a thin egg shape almost. But the miniature in general, it was a bit of a pain in the ass to put together, but it turned out lovely. It is my favourite miniature in the Marvel Universe range. You have to pay a lot to get this, but I'm happy that I got a part of that big box deal. Still plenty more miniatures from this game to paint. Got all the Brotherhood of Mutants still to paint. Oh, some good guy mutants as well. I'm not 100% happy with how my paint job turned out, incidentally. But the model itself, I love. I think the paint job is acceptable. It looks a little out of whack compared to the Hulk, because the Hulk is totally out of whack, as you'll have seen last time. I really hope it makes its way into Crisis Protocol. Also, I'm slightly off centre now. Did I hit the camera? Anyway, I really need to go blow my nose, so I think we're going to cut this one short-ish with this done. Next time, there'll be more Batman, more Marvel Universe. Shuri will be done to some level, but I'm not looking forward to painting her. Assembling her was bad, painting her is going to be a lot worse. Anyway, stay safe out there, please do stay indoors, all that good stuff. Use this time to get into painting, to paint your backlog, to look forward, to look ahead. And if you need inspiration, go find Henry Cavill's Instagram, where he declares to the world he is a nerd that paints miniatures. It's wonderful. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in 2 weeks-ish for another update. Until then, ta-ta for now.